Hello, everybody, and a very good evening to you all, and welcome to yet another section of dtalks or disruptive talks on education. The entrepreneurial skills of the country can be gauged by the level of literacy that has been achieved by its citizens. And the entrepreneurial leadership is a mindset that focuses organizations on turning problems into opportunities that create economic and social value. So today's topic is also entrepreneurial literacy for empowering everyone. And we have with us a very special guest, Mr. Abhishek Singh, who is the Secretary General Entrepreneur Association of India and Bihar Entrepreneur Association. Welcome to the talk, sir. Welcome aboard. Now,
Thank you so
some
much.
details about our guest. He is Discovery Israel Alumni, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Government of Israel, invited by the Government of China, Government of Israel, US, Department of State, Government of Thailand to speak on innovative policies in developing entrepreneurial ecosystem. In-depth research on creation of entrepreneurial ecosystem in 11 states of US, all major states of Israel, smart cities of China and role of stakeholders. He drafted the startup policy for the government of Bihar and implementation plan for rupees 500 crores Bihar Startup Fund. IVLP Fellow of US Department of State for fostering economic empowerment through incubators in South Asia. His work in logistic mapping and supply chain, organizing, warehousing, and 3PL. He started the Artificial Intelligence Center of Excellence, started Impact Incubator Enterprising Zone in 2013, later funded by international agencies, state and central government. Devised the execution model for policies, including Bihar Industry Policy 2011 for bringing new investments. In 2013, he started India's largest volunteer campaign for startup and innovation, the Startup Yatra and Yuva Yatra. It covered all 38 districts of Bihar, 35 other districts of India, 1 lakh plus interactions, and in 2017, it was taken by the government of India. Wow. And in 2014, he started the annual Bihar Entrepreneurship Summit, where major decision for Bihar has been taken till date for economic development. He has also worked to set up technology business incubation centers at the district level and also the Atal Incubation Center with AIM, Niti Aayog. Advocate for new policies on international trade and business transactions, the India market entry and market expansion strategies, cross border trade, especially for innovative products and collaborations in Indian market. He has the expertise in policy advocacy, empowering governance through technology and innovation. He is a project consultant to product launch and business development in India, due diligence and compliance, and cross border trade, concept design for large scale projects by government and non government organizations and SMEs, project finance, market research, evaluation, survey, and data analytics, government policy analyst, industrial policy advisor, gap analysis in entrepreneurship in a developing economy. Wow, sir, with this kind of a bio, you are surely someone who would really be so inspiring for all the young entrepreneurs in the world. So, my first topic is, what is entrepreneurial literacy for you?
Thank you so much. I've just tried to, do my best wherever I got that opportunity, whether it is in Bihar or it was Delhi. So the first question, I mean, it's the root of the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So entrepreneurship start with an attitude, a lifestyle, a thought process. It's what I have seen that every your day to day activities, you have to be an entrepreneur, you have to think like an entrepreneur. When we start our education, I mean, there is a good amount of investment by our parents, and sometimes we take the parents, have taken education loans. Sometimes they have funded from their savings, and sometimes they have raised fund through different sources. So it's an investment right from the education. Then you do matriculation, you do intermediate, you are invested more to complete your graduation. And then sometime you are lucky enough that you are invested more to have a postgraduate degree or a PhD degree. And all these investments is just to make you earn a good living. So it is an entrepreneurial journey right from your school education. This is what we need to understand, and this is what we say that if this is like entrepreneurship, the entrepreneurial literacy. It's not only about the a theory that we see, or learning about a different success stories, startup success stories, or failed success stories, or entrepreneurial journey of different entrepreneurs. But it's actually assessing your own capabilities, assessing your own skills. What are the skills that you already have? You are good at something, but there are some skills that you need to nurture on, or maybe you need to develop or learn new skills, and maybe unlearn a lot of things. So these all are like, it's a daily lifestyle, it's a daily attitude. Your approach towards life is what I think entrepreneurial literacy is. I have seen, and I think Anupama, you would have seen 10 years back we were not having entrepreneurs or innovators at school level. But why we are
Yeah.
having it right now? We are having some good innovators who are patent holders when they are studying in class 7, class 6. And yesterday I was reading a story. There were people from government schools in Uttar Pradesh, and they were like fifth standard students, and they won the National Innovation Award. So we were not having these things like a decade back, if I'm not wrong, because our lifestyle is becoming entrepreneurial. And everybody, we are talking about innovation, we are talking about enterprises. Startups are ruling the world economy, the Indian economy. We were having Samsung, we were having Hero Cup, LG Cup, during all the cricket events, if we talk about the most favorite game in India. But now we have the Paytm Cup, we have the Baiju, we have the all those Meesho and all those new startup, the unicorns sponsoring different events. So the public, the mindset of the public, the mindset of our youth, the students is changing, and I think this is the best entrepreneurial literacy we have seen in India.
Very rightly put, sir. I mean, we can educate somebody to become an engineer, a doctor, but for an entrepreneur, you have to have that kind of mindset. And you have to be, like you said, very, like you learn a lot of things and you unlearn a lot of things. What a beautiful way of putting it.
And
The
just one
next
more thing,
question. Yeah.
I would like to add on, just a recent example. We had a very good, engineer, BTech guy. He started with a startup, and for like just like 6 months down the line, and
Yeah.
he was not able to, ask the customer for, regarding small money that he was earning. So he was saying,
Yeah.
sir, this is just $100. How can I ask the customer just to give us $100? So it is actually the mindset. So then we
Absolutely.
convinced him, we explained him, and now he's like even asking, like, even if he has a commission of like 50 bucks on a particular deal, then also he is like maintaining that. We explained him that you need to start, even if it is a penny, you need to maintain your balance sheet, you need to maintain a report of your customers and the revenue, however small it is. So this is the like mindset.
Very rightly put. So the second question is how to develop entrepreneurial skills among the school children.
Entrepreneurial skills, it plays a very important role in developing a human's person's life, and it not only decides the where the economy of a country or a state will move, but rather it also creates or decides about the well-being and the human development index of that particular country or that particular state. So if you take about example from Estonia, if you take about a very small country, and which was like I think only 20 25 years old, I mean, after independence, and it is well known right now for last 5 6 years for because of its innovation and its ecosystem for new startups. They are welcoming, innovators. If you have startup, and if you have anything innovative startup, they will welcome you, they will provide you home, they will provide you a market. So it's what they have started with. They have started with a tiger, project tiger program at 5 years of age, for the students of 5 years or children of five
Okay.
years and then they
Oh,
put new technologies, entrepreneurial skills in those students. Similar programs, thanks to the Niti Aayog initiative under Atal Innovation Mission, they started the Atal Tinkering Lab. So because India is a vast country, so sometimes the result take a bit longer compared to a smaller country like Israel or maybe Estonia. So, but Atal Tinkering Lab is again giving good results because they are teaching robotics, they are teaching IoTs, and they are teaching different emerging technologies at the school level. And all the plus two, I think there are, I mean, thousands and thousands of schools who have gained from Adult Tinkering Lab. So if we want entrepreneurial skills, and which is the most important I mean thing to inculcate in the minds of the school children, then only we are going to have entrepreneurs when they graduate, when they post graduate. We will have good researchers, good innovators, and we will have our own product line. So it's very important to develop the curriculum of the schools, of the whether it is CBSE school, ICSE, or maybe state board. They all should update, or rather I will say modify their courses, and regarding different entrepreneurial skills, motivational stories of different successful entrepreneurs, some steps, some new terms on the on startup journey, and things, words like business pitching, fundraising, a unicorn. So these all things should be part of the curriculum, and especially the general knowledge at the general knowledge syllabus at the school level. So that will I think make a student more stronger with entrepreneurial skills.
yeah. Thank you, sir. Very nicely explained. The next question here is that how does the personal financial literacy relate to business financial literacy?
This is an interesting question because a startup or a young entrepreneur, it's always related. Your personal finance and your business finance is like very closely connected, and it tests your. You asked about financial literacy,
Yeah.
if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So once you are accustomed, or once you are strong in your financial literacy, and then when you enter the business world, then you are able to use that particular skills. I will tell you my story. I was not. I mean, much more. I was very much inclined towards economics, but I was not knowing the utility of what I have studied during my economics, course. And but when I did some businesses, I established a business at 9 when I just crossed 19 years of age. We were four partners, and we did some very good business in Gurgaon. And that time Gurgaon was very new. I'm talking about 2004, and things, we were not able to manage our business financially, and we were not knowing about new compliances. We're not knowing about the importance of different compliances, right? From maybe company registration, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, rules and regulations, Government of India, or the state government rules and regulations, different taxes. And these were very small things, having a PAN card, filing an ITR, income tax return. So these were very small things, but we were not knowing. And somehow we lost that when we were like calculating our business turnover and the profit margins when we were dealing with different customers. So if you talk about financial literacy and the personal financial literacy, if you are able to manage that in your life, in your personal life, right from your daily expenses, expenses at your house, expenses at your the extra expenses, the marketing expenses of your own daily requirements, and if you are habituated in that, then I think your business financial literacy will always increase, and your business finance will always be well managed. You can take examples of all good mothers. I believe, yeah, they always save money. They save a monthly. They have something in their mind that, okay, this is the budget for vegetables. This is the budget for maybe food items. This is budget for maybe outing, and this is the budget we are going to save annually for maybe taking the family to some family trip, or maybe some shoppings, or maybe any sort of things. So I think they're very good. I respect my mom in that. We were a big family, and my mom was. I don't. I mean, she's not a finance lady, but she is having very good sound, skills in financial literacy. And I think, if she could have done some business, and I hope she would have been, profitable. She would have been able to make it a successful venture. So the personal business literacy, or the personal business, approach, the attitude, how you have managed your personal financing in your lifetime, it obviously, it reflects in your, business, how you manage the financing when you do business, when you do, or you have a startup. It definitely, reflects there.
Very true. So, what's your insight on financial literacy and its relation to entrepreneurial literacy?
Yes, I think financial literacy is important because it equips us, which the knowledge, the skills, and as I said earlier, that we should know about the different system in a state, or in a country, about different compliances, and then you have to know about different financial decisions that you have to take at different point of time. Maybe sometime, a youth, if I talking about our own generation, then you have to decide about whether you are going to invest in your studies, or the same money you can invest in your venture. And maybe sometime you have to decide that, okay, this is the loan that I have to take, and this is the educational loan I have to take, and then for 2 years I have to spend that money, and then after that, if I get a job or a business, then I will able to repay that loan, education loan, in this much years. So these are personal financial decisions that you have to take. We have taken from at that end. And I've seen the majority of youth somehow looking for that particular decision. So when you have very good sound skills in deciding your financial literacy, then your entrepreneurial literacy will always be better, and you will always have a solid foundation for success when you become an entrepreneur. And if similarly, if I have seen cases where there were not good financial decisions taken by youth. Take for example, I have a not my family don't have a very good income, annual income, and I took a course which was like which took we took a very hard, like a very a much bigger loan, which I should have taken. And and we did a course which is not able to provide me a job of that category. I've seen that some of the education loan of the students in some of the big institutions in India, they are like 20,000 bucks per month is the education loan that they have to repay, and then they are getting like 15 to 18 or 20,000 maximum salary. So then that's a big problem. If they are not getting support from the parents, you're not able to continue with that kind of job, and you have to some point of time default on the education loan. This is happening with most of the institution. You would also be witnessing, in Delhi NCR, if you see the
Yeah.
education fees, and if the education is not supported by the parents, and from other sources, then education loan, the monthly installment is higher than the salary of the enhanced salary of the student. And you have to add the living cost per month. So these are personal business decisions, and I think this is a very important question for the younger generation, that how financial literacy and and it is related to entrepreneurial literacy. I've seen some very good examples. When we were like becoming entrepreneurs, we had to manage our own expenses living in Delhi, I mean Gurgaon or Delhi. Then we were doing some work, and but we were establishing a brand which was always every month it is taking money. Like it was like sucking money from all of us. And we always made a calculation. Look, this is what we are earning, so this is our living cost per month, and this is what we can spend for creating this brand, creating this business, or developing the for business development. And because initially, like one year, it was like just spending the operational cost of office and then staffs and branding, marketing. So you have to always have that calculation. So the among four of us, I was good at finance, so good at economics rather. So we were able to calculate the budget. Okay, this is what we four have to share. So this is very very important, especially if you are very good at financial literacy. Then obviously your entrepreneurial literacy and your business finance, or how you manage your financial cost, costings, inflow, cash outflow, these all are managed.
Right. I mean, the kids can start by managing their own pocket money well, and then how well they do it, can then go on to the next level. Yes.
Yes, I mean, there are
Um,
several examples regarding that.
yeah. 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 So the next question for you is, with more and more stress on women empowerment, share how to empower women and girls for the shared prosperity.
Uh, if we talk about, I mean, how and what is the, I mean, how this women empowerment thing, rather, I will say, it's a very important, topic, or very important factor in a country's, especially our country's development, and it needs to be, attended in a very planned manner. And
Yeah.
because what I have seen, I've been working in states like Bihar, UP, Jharkhand, and this Haryana. So this belt I've been seeing that in metros the girls are very empowered, and in sub metros the girls are empowered. But take for example, if a girl is in Delhi, and she's staying in a PG, and she belongs from a village. Okay, so she is somehow able to manage her own PG expenses and somehow her traveling, and she is able to like save some amount, very very small amount of money every month. And then someday after a year, she want to start a venture. She have some idea. She is working for 1 year, and she have to start a venture. So then the real question comes about women empowerment, and then the stress starts built up. I have seen number of examples where even if a girl is in metro, I'm not talking about the non-metro, I will come to that later, but even if she is living in Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, and when I talk to her, she says, sir, we are living here, we are working here, but we cannot take that risk, because who will pay for that 1 year, 2 year, of our living cost? And if we go to have our own venture. So this is how we can just see where and to what level we have empowered our own women, and especially the girls. The second thing, the second factor. Now let's come to the metro. Leave the metro and the sub metros, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, and all those places, Hyderabad. Let's come to the this 60, or I can say the 700 districts. Leave aside the 20 25 700 20 25 districts. So leave aside the 20 or 50 districts. Let's come to the 650 districts of the country. Now here the game is completely different. Here the scenario is completely different. You will rarely find a young girl, unmarried girl, with from a lower middle class family, from a middle class family, or from a BPL is like far away to even think about, that they have started their own venture. They're sitting in their own office. They have a small shop. They have a small restaurant, or maybe a tea coffee tea cafe, the small tea cafe that we are seeing right now. We will rarely see that. And why? This is a big question, that whether we are empowered, one, with the school education of girls, whether we have empowered them to that level, whether we have made them that strong in decision making, whether we have uh, you know made them empowered with business knowledge, whether we have empowered them with how to get support from different schemes of government, how to whether we have given them that access to different institutions which can help them in businesses, whether it is banks, whether it is state government, whether it is central government institutions. So that is the question. Let me give you an example. I have been training lot of girls who come from like BTech background or MBA background. So at one level, I select the top class from IIMs for internship. Then I select the bottom class just from a small college. So even the best college in Bihar, Patna Women's College, they are not able to produce good women entrepreneurs. Why? Because I have talked to the girls who have been doing internship here. They're not empowered. They're not empowered to take decisions. I told them that why don't you start your own brand? Why don't you think about starting your own, shop? There are different government schemes. So they didn't even think or dream about that without getting married, without getting out of their own family house, they can even think about sitting in an office. So if you are unmarried girl, if you are not if you don't have your support from the parents, financial support as well as motivational support, it's very difficult for the girl to think of independently. And this is where I think the government, the policy makers, organizations like yours, organization, they all should work together to, because this is a mindset change as well as the ecosystem has to change. It's not about government's policies, government schemes. So this is a big barrier I have seen. And without I have just seen, if there is a market and the market all dominated by shops dominated by owners, or the owners are men, or the shop manager is men, and you just place one shop between that shop with a woman as a manager, you see the discipline, you see the thoughts, and you see the complete business environment, it changes. So that's why at my offices we always inspire women that you come to our office, you get a workplace, co-working place for free. The only thing is that you should have your own business, you should have the majority stake in any company should be run by a women, so that women will get a free office at our center. So that is what we have initiated. So this was just to inspire all the young girls, and especially the unmarried girls who are not getting support, who don't have access, who don't have that kind of links network. So they have the education. Even if they have education, then also it's very difficult for them to become an entrepreneur. And that is why what we need to work on seriously with in a planned manner.
Very inspiring, sir. I think that should inspire a lot of women to take on entrepreneurship. Um, Share your insights on micro entrepreneurship.
Yes, since the earlier topic was about women and micro entrepreneurship, we talk about micro entrepreneurship. That is, what I have seen in my experience working through 7 states of India. The micro entrepreneurship is mostly dominated by village women, and this thing we have changed. In last maybe last 1 decade, you can say there have been institutions which has really done well with the financial support from World Bank, like National Rural Livelihood Mission (NRLM). So they have formed the state chapters, and they formed the SHGs, and now the concept of FPOs and the non-farm FPOs. FPO is farmer producer companies, and if you are not into agriculture, so it will be called a non-farm FPO. So even so, FPO, SHGs, they all are being financially supported, and thanks to schemes like NRL, and like in the UP has a state chapter, a state body under the central fund. So every state, Haryana or maybe Maharashtra, they all have that National Rural Livelihood Mission program, and under that they support micro entrepreneurship. Now, one more important aspect, if you analyze the Indian economy, that the Indian government has formed a cooperative ministry, a separate cooperative ministry. Now, why? Because the Indian government want to follow the model of government of China in creating cooperatives, successful cooperatives. We have some very successful cooperative of women in South India, and in whether they are into mechanics or they are into agri business. And now the stress is on creating cooperatives, successful business cooperatives. And because most of the why I'm stressing on successful or profitable business cooperative, because most of the cooperatives in India were just created for that, a kind of show off, or kind of show off your power, that okay, you have like 1,000 people behind that. And later on it was used by political parties, I can't take the name right now. So now we have a separate cooperative ministry. And I think the stress that they are giving in forming women FPO, because I have been to Hyderabad, and some of the government institutions, central government institutions there, they were saying that, look, if Abhishek, your organization can help us, finding out women FPOs. So we have special fund for that. So these all are part of micro entrepreneurship. Micro entrepreneurship, I believe, should always happen in a group. They should always be motivated, inspired to make an SHG or a cooperative or a FPO. Because if a micro entrepreneur, if you see from economical point of view, if I am a a lady having a, or I'm a guy in a small furniture shop, I make small furniture, chair, tables, and maybe some dressing table or some beds. And some at some point of time, a big merchant will come. He will create a factory, and then he will somehow his scale of production will be higher, so costing will be lower, and so his price will be lower. What is happening with Amazon and Flipkart, what they are doing, you are knowing that on daily basis. So if you see the cost of Flipkart grocery, it is always lesser than your nearby shops. So this is what will happen finally to a micro entrepreneur. So I think all the, location wise, micro entrepreneurship should always combine. And they should always try to form a FPO, or they should always try to form a SHG, and now they can also form a cooperative. And there are a lot of things, lot of schemes which fund micro entrepreneurs. So if you, I would just like to take some names. So we all know about Mudra scheme. I know it's very difficult. It's difficult because a lot of people are asking about Mudra scheme. But after few, running behind some banks and having good proposals, Mudra scheme is also being delivered. And there is a very old scheme, that is Prime Minister Employment Guarantee Program, PMEGP. So there is the loan amount is 25 lakh, and it's a very good scheme, and it happens at the district level. So if you are in Akola district of Maharashtra, you just need to meet the Akola DM and the district industry center in Akola district of Maharashtra. You don't need to go to Delhi or Mumbai or capital or Pune. So it's district level scheme, and it's a very old scheme by Government of India, Pradhan Mantri Employment Guarantee Program, PMEGP. And then there is another very good scheme which we are working on. It's a Spurti Yojana. Spurti Yojana is, take for example, some women or some small enterprises, they want to establish a furniture brand. They want to establish a food brand, maybe tomato jelly, ketchups, and all those different pickles. So they can form a group. They can buy raw materials, maybe the fruits and vegetables, or they can grow themselves. They just need to make a group. And the Government of India has this MSME ministry. Under MSME ministry, they have this Spurti scheme where you will get almost 90% of the subsidy. So take for example, you have your project cost is 3 crore. So you just need to pay 25 crores about from your own group, and even like 90% subsidy is given by the Spurti program. We have just helped one Spurti group, a group of people. So they are doing very good in mushroom. There are people doing very good. I went to Sonipat. They are doing amazing work in baby corn. Atrena village. Atrena is known for the biggest, the best location for baby corn in India. The first location actually. So I met the Padma Shri, the person Padma Shri Kamal Singh Chauhan there, and he is known as father of baby corn in India. Last year he got this Padma Shri. So there are a lot of examples where micro entrepreneurs, I know it is very challenging, but if we then there are schemes from Coir Board and different Udyami Yojana, and then we have CGTMSE scheme where the loan is to 2 crore. But some of the best scheme I have already explained, and definitely we can help anyone. So micro entrepreneurs, I will just tell you that always try to form a group to make a sustainable thing. Otherwise, you will always be killed by the big merchant who is coming to the village level. Like all the big merchants, I can't take the name, the biggies. They all are entering the village level. They all are, making their supply chain very robust. I work in the logistics sector, so we are seeing the Amazon product is reaching the last person right now, and the Flipkart
Yeah,
warehouse is starting at village level. You can say the block level. So where like
yeah,
you combine 20, 30 villages, then you have a block. So to that level, they are penetrating. So where will the micro entrepreneurs will go? So they have to form a group, and that will be a very good strategy to deal with that.
yeah, sure. Um, Last but not the least, what's the role of entrepreneurs of today to develop and scale up foundational literacy?
Uh, no, to scale up foundational literacy.
Yeah.
So what is this? I mean, what do you mean by foundational literacy? It's like the basic literacy, I mean, the basic education you're talking
Yeah,
about.
so like how important is foundation literacy and numeracy for entrepreneurial literacy? Like how can we develop these skills among illiterate adults?
Okay,
Like a
okay, okay.
basic foundation literacy and
Yes,
numeracy. I mean,
yes, yes,
obviously,
yes.
if they have that, then they can go on and do anything with the basic common sense.
Yes. So some of the examples, and it's a very good initiative that we have seen from some of the skill-based, whether it is Orissa or even Maharashtra, and they have started skilling programs, and where even a person who is just a matriculate, I mean, he just need to pass matriculation, and he can go for different skills, and they assess the skill that the person requires. And we were just analyzing it yesterday. So whether you are just need a matriculate degree, you just enter into that profile, and thus then you need to choose that whether I want to have my own business or I have to do a job. And that if I have to do a job, then whether I am skilled or not skilled. If I am skilled, then in which sector I am skilled. Then there will be a particular set of questions, and then there will be a counselor, there will be an expert which will be connected to that particular person. So to this level, I think initiatives are being done by some state government, and some, I mean, the central government is also taking something like this. And especially, I have seen this program in aspirational districts. I think we all know about the Niti Aayog. I think 110, 112 districts of India out of 720
Yeah.
districts is taken as aspirational districts. They are very backward. Then they have, or maybe on criteria that they are, they are the productivity is not so huge. Maybe that is affected by some Naxal area or flood. So that is the Niti Aayog selected them for aspirational district program. So these are initiatives, and even if a person, I believe that you don't need to, obviously the degrees add to your it shows in your temperament, your the way you plan, the vision that you have. But even a person, if you don't have a degree, we have some great dropouts. I mean, not great, I mean, some dropouts who are great entrepreneurs. So I mean, we all know many of them. So you don't need to have a degree. And if the government initiatives, especially because these initiative has to taken by on PPP mode from the government side, as well as from organizations like this organization, and what we are doing. So even if we, like, what we do, we take incubators, we take our incubation application cohort without seeing any degree. For us, the criteria is that your business model should be very robust, or you have to be very innovative product. And we just see the team, how passionate is the team, how committed is the team, and what is there in that, what is there, and what risk they are covering from their side. So this is what we see whenever we choose a startup or potential startup for incubation program. So if we talk about foundational literacy, and entrepreneurs role in this developing and scaling up foundational literacy, it's very important. And because they have a history, we all learn from our own failed and successful cases. And if those cases are shared to people who want to be entrepreneurs, or who are going to make their career, especially right from the school education, it will always make our economy much more innovative, dynamic, as well as independent.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So, to sum it all up, we basically say that entrepreneurial literacy, for empowering everyone, we have to focus on an opportunity. We have to be a learner. Like you said, we have to start with the means at hand and seek outside input, think big, seek feedback, take action, and then you're always there to inspire all the young people there. So, thank you so much, sir. It was very, very interesting to hear your views, and you have a good day. Thank you, everybody, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day. For my pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.